And it's Kraetzer for CaMMVetsMedia along with Chuck Donegan. Tough loss for Army, 45-38 in overtime. A game that Army was trailing 21-0, but came back and tied it at the very end of the game and scored 17 points in the fourth quarter to do it. And was remarkable comeback, but it came up short. And I think that obviously disappointed all the team, the coaching staff, and all. Nearly 30,000 at the game today. Game started out first drive, North Texas, 175 yards. Very tough to stop in the early going. Then Army got the ball back, but they fumbled the pitch out. Cale Helms trying to get the ball to Noah Short and fumbled the pitch out, and that gave the ball back to North Texas. They went down, scored on a short field, 44 yards, and then Army gets the ball back, and what do? They fumble again. Cale Helms running a dive play and lost the ball, and North Texas went in and scored again to make it 21-0. Army got some momentum right after that. Briggs Bartosh ran 75 yards from scrimmage on a one-play drive to get Army back in the game 21-7, but Army had another turnover. An intercepted Cale Helms pass, got the ball back to the Mean Green, and allowed them again to have a short field, and North Texas got a touchdown pass, 6 yards, and went up 28-7 at that point in the game. Army changed quarterbacks, put back in senior Dwayne Coleman, who had started the season at quarterback. Seemed a bit ineffective versus in the opening game. And Cale Helms went in against Kansas State, but today Dwayne Coleman went in and played really a remarkable game. Brought Army back with 4 touchdowns. Got a 17-yard pass to Samari Howard to finish a 75-yard play to get Army back to 28-14 at the half. And then the third quarter, Army got another 75-yard drive, finished it with a Hayden Reed 37-yard rush from scrimmage, completing the 7-play 75-yard drive, got back to Army. Got back within 7, 28-21. Then North Texas, they got stopped by the Army defense, as Coach Woody would say, but they came away with a 23-yard field goal to take a 31-21 10-point lead. And then going into the fourth quarter, Army ran another 17-play 75-yard drive, and Dwayne Coleman finishing that drive with a 5-yard rush. And then just a couple of minutes after that, North Texas was able to score and go ahead in the game 38-28 on a 21-yard rush by Hawkins. And but Army came back again, a 68-yard pass from Dwayne Coleman to Brady Anderson, got Army back 38-35. And then, as we talked to Coach Munkin about at the end in the post game, Army had a chance. North Texas fumbled the ball with just, I think, 2 minutes left, and gave Army the chance to go ahead in the game or kick a field goal to tie. Army ended up kicking a field goal, and went into overtime. First overtime, North Texas scored, and on a 3-yard rush by Hawkins, and then Army could not match that in their frame of the overtime. So a 45-38 loss to North Texas. And Chuck, I know you're on the sideline for a lot of the game. What was your thought overall?
Well, Ken, I have to agree with much of what you said. North Texas really came on strong in the first half, and I don't think it was really till the second half that we saw Army really get into it, within striking distance, especially in the fourth quarter. As you said, had the touchdown by Brady Anderson, really helped them, along with the successful field goal by Dawson Jones that tied the game, 38-38, sent it into overtime. Yeah, it was a really good offense for both teams. 478 yards for North Texas, 488 for Army. And I think they really gave it their all near the end. Unfortunately, they just couldn't catch up after North Texas scored that touchdown in the overtime period.
Well, it was remarkable. Dwayne Coleman gave Army some life when they were down 21-0 when he went in the game. And that was a real positive. Obviously, Briggs Bartash's 75-yard run. Looking at some of the individual stats, Dwayne Coleman ran for 118 yards, 1 touchdown, and threw the ball 6 of 11 for 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also rushing, Hayden Reed had 113 yards. Briggs Bartosh finished with 99. So you had 3 runners at just 1 yard away from 100 yards each, and 397 yards gained. Net 387 is a good day. It just showed when Army got going and running their offense, they were very effective today. And now it looks like Dwayne Coleman has won back his job, which he lost in the opener. And we'll see. They got a tough matchup going on the road to East Carolina. I was looking at some of the receiving stats. Amari Howard, 2 catches, Hayden Reed 2, Noah Short 5, and Brady Anderson at 3, and the remarkable long touchdown that he had for 68 yards. And Dawson Jones got the field goal, the clutch field goal to tie the game. You're saying some of the overall stats on the game. Army 387 yards to 229. North Texas 26 of 36 passing. Army's defense struggled to contain North Texas, especially in the first half. Army was 6 of 14 with 1 interception. Not a lot of, 101 passing yards. North Texas 249. That's a lot of yards. But the difference in the game was the 3 fumbles by Army and an interception. The first 2, as Coach Munkin said, they never had to punt today. They either turned the ball over or they scored. And if they had not turned the ball over in those occasions and scored half of them, they would have had another 14 points. So, that's been, the critical difference this year is just managing the ball. Coach Munkin works on it with the team, as he says, every practice. And they intensified it after the Carleton State game when there were a couple of turnovers. So it happens. And so they go on. They got a short week to prepare to go down to East Carolina and see what they can turn around, get back to 2-2 on the season. Because now you start thinking about, hey, you got to get to 6 wins for a bowl game, and you want to look, get the house in order going into the 2 Service Academy games, certainly the Air Force games, not so far away, beginning of November. It's sort of within sight. And then you got a tough trip to Tulane coming up, and other games, and that will be difficult challenges. So we will see. Beautiful day here, big crowd, 28,000. 3rd Infantry Division was the special honored guest today, and great parade of cadets. So all the pageantry. The next home game, we understand, is sold out against Charlotte, but there are a couple of more in November that people can still come out and see this team and see a great day of college football in an amazing environment. So Chuck, any final thoughts for today?
Well, it was definitely a memorable game, I can tell you that. Yeah, what's interesting is how the possession time kind of, flip-flopped, you might say. The first quarter was 10-16 for North Texas, 4:44 Army. But in the third, it was reversed, more or less. 442, North Texas 10-18 Army, which really made the difference, I think, in turning the game around towards the end.
Yeah, it was like, obviously, as we said, when D-Wayne Coleman went in, it gave Army some fresh air, whatever you want to say. He was effective, played very well today. And so most expect now that he'll play down at East Carolina on Thursday evening. It's a challenge. It's a breakup of the routine. Not a lot of time, and players won't get a day off because they'll get the day off on Friday after the game. So it's just in the grind. The coaches probably don't like it, but the league does because they get a nationally televised primetime game, and visibility is a big asset in this business of college football. So we'll wrap it up today and get set for traveling down to East Carolina on Thursday. So, Chuck Donegan, thank you. Thank you for a great job today. That's Ken Kraetzer for CaMMVetsMedia. We cover cadets, midship, and the military and veterans proudly since 2008. Thanks for watching.